All right, if it's Tuesday, it can mean only one thing, and that thing is it's time for Comic Book School Live. We are here tonight to talk with you about the craft and business of making comics. My name is Buddy Scalera. This here is my good buddy, Mike Fasolo. We're going to do, cheering. There you go. Okay, we're going to get through the early stuff quick. If you don't know us, that is Mike Fasolo. Crowd cheers for Mike. He's a three-time Emmy Award-winning comic book, Annie something screenwriter. I do the comic book thing. Yeah. Thank you. We do the comic book stuff, Mike. Evening.
We do. We also have
Victor's back. Thanks for coming back, Victor. Nice to see you there. But Mike, we have an episode tonight that is kind of a little bit offbeat, something a little bit different. We decided to talk about, I'll snap back because I didn't put the right slide in. That's how close I cut it. But tonight, Mike, because we are talking with fellow comic book creators, we are going to be talking about bucket list items that all comic book creators should endeavor to try to do while they're still alive, after they're dead.
Uh-oh. Did you freeze or did I freeze? Oh, Buddy might be having some trouble.
It's the second time in a row. Last week, it did the same thing.
Yeah, what are you doing? It's because you got a PC instead of a Mac.
Yeah, what part did it cut off? When I was telling you, like, the winning lottery numbers for tomorrow? Or...
Yeah, you were like, and this is what...
Anyway, Mike, we're going to jump right into this. Looking forward to this one.
Hey, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew. He's looking forward to this one as opposed to some of the others where he was like, oh.
As opposed to all of the other ones.
He's dreading it. Yep, there's Mike. There's me. Mike, we're going to get into it real quick, but let's just get started. Mike Fasolo, what is a bucket list?
Well, a bucket list is something that, you want to do before you die. And, the term bucket list, if you want to know some background on it, it's derived from kick the bucket, which, as we all know, means, you're dead. You're going to die. And there are some theories floating around that comes from the time when they used to hang people. And they used to make them stand on a bucket, which they then kicked out and dropped them. And, that obviously killed them.
That's really gruesome.
Yeah. But then the term bucket list came into really kind of well-known territory in the early 2000s. Some screenwriter named Justin Zackham. He created a list of all the things that he wanted to do, which he titled Justin's List of Things I Want to Do Before I Kick the Bucket, which he later shortened to Justin's Bucket List. And then he took that bucket list title and turned it into a movie starring Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson called The Bucket List.
What? That's a bit of trivia I did not know. Now, Mike,
and ironically, not ironically, but on his list of things to do was to get a movie made by a major motion picture company. And he did. So he can cross that one off his list.
Mike, I was trying to pull your image up. I don't know how to pull your image up.
Can I pull it up?
Yeah, maybe you could pull it up.
I tried pulling it up. Oh, no, it pulls up your image.
Oh, hold on. Let me remove mine. Stop screen. There you go. Okay.
Let's see. There we go.
Okay, there's the bucket list.
That was the movie, The Bucket List, which was a pretty good movie. And it was about two guys who were, I think they were dying of cancer or had a bad thing of cancer. And they decided that they were going to go and do the things that they'd never had a chance to do in their lives.
Is it worth watching? I've never seen it.
Oh, you should watch it. Yeah, Jack Nicholson is super rich. And Morgan Freeman was just, a standard blue collar worker. They were in the same hospital room together. And they both had a really bad diagnosis, and they decided that, hey, they're going to go and do the things they wanted to do.
All right, I'll check that out. And now, my favorite bucket list movie, if you want to pull that up.
It's called Going in Style, which I don't know if it's really a bucket list movie, but it's a good kind of starter bucket list movie. It was just about three old guys who were very bored with their lives. And so they decided to spice things up. They were going to rob a bank.
I love this movie. I don't know if it holds up today, but the line where he says, "Do you want to rob a bank?" And he said, "Yeah." And he turns to the other guy and says, "You want to rob a bank?" He said, "What?" He says, He said, "Do you want to rob a bank?" Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's entirely the way it went, but that's my memory of it. And I absolutely love that. Somebody had already thrown up one of their bucket list items. Attempt a novel.
One think on the bucket list, attempt a novel.
Now, is that read a novel or write a novel? I'm not sure.
I'm guessing it's write it, but attempting it wouldn't be very hard because all you got to do is sit down and write, "This is my novel," and you're attempting it.
You're done. Woo!
Oh, he wanted it with no
pictures. With no pictures. All right.
Oh, this is a good one. April Fool's. He's pretending to.
It is April Fool's Day. We're not going to play any pranks. Oh, wait.
We got somebody new.
A new guest?
Jimmy Animates.
Welcome to the show, Jimmy.
Finally made it to alive. Been watching the old episodes while working on my comic the last few weeks. All right.
Well, thank you for joining us, Jimmy Animates.
Hopefully we're inspiring you.
We are delighted that you're here. Why is that an asterisk? Honest. Oh, making an honest attempt. Right one.
I can tell he wants to write one. It's got about 40 pages, and you can't even look at it.
Oh, well, that's.
But you should.
That doesn't bode well.
Judge, Glenn.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well. All right, Mike. So now that we know what a bucket list, and everybody here knows what a bucket list is, to our Aussie friends, is that a term in Australia, or is that a uniquely American term?
I would assume it's a worldwide term.
I would assume so too. But Mike, we have here guests here, friends here in the audience from Australia. And we don't know where Jimmy Animates is. Could be dialing in from Mars. We don't know. We don't know. All right, Mike, so I'm going to give you a list of bucket list items with some pictures and some that I've done myself. A little bit of humble brag and flex, but the point of it, they keep things in a Tucker. What's a Tucker bag?
I don't know what that is.
Alfagor.
Here's from Andrew. Oh yes, they have. We have buckets in Australia. And lists.
With buckets in
and Jimmy is from Canada.
Jimmy, do they have bucket lists in Canada?
They probably have buckets and lists as well.
They do buckets and lists. Okay. So
Tucker equals food.
Does it?
They have food bags.
Food bags?
Now I'm very confused by all the things.
I didn't know that. I thought Tucker was a car.
They do have bucket lists in Canada.
They do. And they have food. I've had poutine there and it is outstanding. All right. So I am going to be including in this my little humble brags that I have done certain things on my bucket list. I'm not going to talk about my bucket list in particular, Mike, but I am going to show you some things specifically so you know I have my own bucket list. Do you have a bucket list, Mike?
I have a couple of things on a bucket list, but it's not, I don't sit down and be like, these are the things I want to do before I die.
And now, Mike, you have to, paying your rent next month is not a bucket list item.
No,
it might feel like it.
I mean, living comfortably obviously is, I think, on everybody's bucket list, but that's
a pretty broad
thing.
You got to have, it's got to have a finite thing. It's got to be a beginning, middle, and end. And the reason I'm going to show you some photos of mine is because many of these were specifically on my bucket list. And I want you to know I held myself accountable.
Do you have a long bucket list or is it, 8 things?
I'm very short, so they needed a very tall bucket to kick out from underneath me. So, okay, here we go. Bucket list number 1. And I'm going to put these as ideas. Attend the 2 big Comic-Cons. Now, we talk about it. We can all get on an airplane and find our way to the big Comic-Cons. You can even give yourself a little bit of an out. If you're from New York, getting to New York Comic-Con is not a bucket list item.
No.
It's a drive over the bridge. It's literally, a local train. You got to get yourself to San Diego. Same thing with California. For those folks in Toronto or Ontario eating poutine, for those of you down under, you got to get to one of your major conventions. What do you think?
Let me ask you, why is this on a bucket list? Why is this just not something that you want to do?
These are these are things that people go, I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go. And then COVID hits, cancer hits, car accident hits, something happens, and you die not having done something that in the back of your mind you knew you should have and could have done all this time. If it's a matter of going, I am going to get myself to this so that I can see, I got a thumbs up. I'm going to get myself there. That is a bucket list item for a comic book creator. You got to be in the thick of it at least one time.
Yeah. See, for me, this wouldn't be a bucket
I
list.
didn't ask your opinion.
I'm giving you my opinion for free. I'm just saying, I wouldn't think that attending a Comic-Con would be something that you're like, I have to do this before I die.
Okay, but this was my bucket list, and I'm giving people ideas for their bucket list.
Okay.
All right, so that's why it's listed as idea. As a guest or buying a ticket, you just got to get there, Andrew. It doesn't matter how you get there. You got to get.
I won't judge your bucket list anymore.
But these were on my bucket list, so I'm giving people ideas for things that they might want to do, and people along the way, feel free to say if this is one of your bucket list items, and if you've accomplished one of these things. What do you think of that, Mike?
I think that sounds like a good plan. And keep your water out of my bucket.
Now, Mike, you've been to San Diego Comic-Con, right?
I have been to San Diego and I've been to New York Comic-Con.
You went to New York?
Wait, didn't I go to? I went with you one year. Where's that?
No, we went to LA together.
No, we went to LA, but then when I was in New York many years ago, was that New York Comic-Con?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, well then I've been to both.
All right, so you've been to both. So not on your bucket list, but an accomplishment that many people would like to be able to say they've done in their lifetime. Okay. And remember, this is not just for comic fans, it's for comic creators.
Okay.
That's the nature of our show. I'm not sure if you know the theme of comic book school.
Is that what it is? I don't know. You always tell me 5 minutes before the show.
Yeah, just before the show. All right, let's go. Make an 8-page ashcan comic by yourself. Let me clarify what an ashcan comic is. It is essentially, you take a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, you fold it 4 ways, or it's 11 by 17. I can't remember. And it's essentially an 8-page comic. But the trick here is you're the writer, you're the penciler, you're the inker, you're the colorist, and you're the letterer. Have the experience of having done all of those things. And as you can see by me putting the Marvel generic comic up, I have not yet done this myself.
Now.
Oh,
hi, James.
Is James new?
No, I think he was on last week.
Let's cheer from him anyway. Thanks for joining us, James. Okay, so Mike, you're about to ask a question.
I was about that, like we could sit down and write a 8-page comic, but as for penciling it, so you're saying like stick figures are fine?
But that's a bucket list item. You are not a comic book creator, not in the traditional sense. You are a successful 3-time Emmy Award-winning, 2-time Annie Award-winning writer. I know. Sometimes we just can't get over it ourselves. Let's just, there we go. Okay. But there might be a proxy for you, Mike. It might be write, direct, edit your own film, right? Like you're a filmmaker, you're a television maker. That might be your bucket list item. You've made comics, but this is not your burning dream.
Okay, that's true.
You're just a good co-host.
I'm not even that good. I'm just here.
Until we get somebody better. What does this one say?
Wait, we saw a Buddy original cover like 2 weeks ago. That's true, with your Spider-Man.
That's right. We saw my Spider-Man cover.
You should write that one.
I'm gonna write that one. That was one with Electro and Jigsaw. Enough said. All right. So the idea is, you know what? You want to make comics? Don't just be a writer. Don't just be an artist. Like literally, and 8 pages is manageable.
True.
Do the work from beginning to end and be able to go, it's a piece of junk, but it's my piece of junk.
Okay.
And you don't have to show it to anybody, but it should be on your bucket list.
Okay. All right.
That's an idea. That's idea number 2.
That is a good idea.
All right. So number 1, you were on, but number 2, you're a little better on.
Number 2, I'm a little better on. I'm getting the hang of this. You're not doing this for just you or me. This is for comic creators.
We're doing it for our beloved friends who join us every Tuesday.
All right. Okay.
All right. Okay. Number 3, set up an artist alley. I have probably lost more money in Artist Alley than I've made. I've probably spent more money in food than I've actually sold comic books. But I will tell you, there is nothing quite like the experience of sitting there, putting your stuff out, and just setting up an artist alley, there's no greater feeling. I mean, it starts to stink when, people just keep walking by you and don't buy anything, but you should, as a comic book creator, set a bucket list item to set up an artist alley. Now, obviously, you're going to need a comic or something to sell. So
Andrew has an idea for what can be an ashcan. Well, Andrew, you should start writing it.
we should we should probably do an episode on how to make an ashcan, Mike.
Okay. Oh, that'll be another episode down the line.
Somebody jot that down for us. We'll write that down, because right after we get off the show, we just tell jokes to each other in the green room and eat licorice. Mike, what do you think about idea number 3?
I think that's a good idea. As long as you can get to the Comic-Con, you can set yourself up an artist alley.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something about almost every one of these ideas. They're gonna cost you money. They're gonna cost you money. Big deal. Like, get over it. People are so afraid to lose money. Oh, I'm gonna lose money. You know what? Do you ever really worry too much about your Netflix bill or the phone bill or you spend money on all kinds of stuff. Save a few dollars, go out and set up an artist alley.
That's true. Cancel Netflix for 2 or 3 months.
And you got your artist alley table.
That's right. And then reapply when you get back.
All right. Ready for number 4?
Yep.
All right, let's go. Make your damn comic. Make your damn comic. Let me give a crowd cheer for myself. I've made all these comics, Mike, and I can tell you unequivocally, without any shame, I have not made a dime on any of them. In fact, I will never make it back to zero. I have only lost money. Here's the important thing. I made my damn comics.
That's right. You did it.
I did it. And you know what? And here's the thing. And everybody, and I didn't put it on the slide because I didn't want to beat up on Kickstarter, because I think Kickstarter is a wonderful resource. But people are so worried, like, oh, I got to have a Kickstarter. You know, you don't have to spread the debt around to your family and friends. If this is important to you, do what I told you I was doing just before the beginning of the show. What did I tell you I was just doing just before we came on the show? You can tell them.
I forgot.
I was meeting somebody, and I was selling old.
Oh.
I was selling some old my big Jim camper, the big Jim camper, and then the guy was like, "Do you also have the big Jim figures?" I go, "I've got the big Jim figures, and I've got all the accessories." He said, "Here's my number. I'll meet you." Now, what did that do? It gave me money. And you know what? I'd rather have my comic done than to have the big Jim camper jammed up in the attic where it's been for 20-something years.
That is very true. If you're not using it, get rid of it, and then you can use your money for something else.
Right. I got a couple things here behind me on display. You're not looking. Right here, behind me on display. And you know what? I'm going into the attic, and anything that's in the attic is fair game. Okay.
Absolutely.
Read out in Andrew's voice what he's saying there.
There's something special about creating something and putting it out into the world. That wasn't a good one.
No, try it again. Try it one more time. You almost were like an aristocrat on that one.
There's something special about creating something and putting it out into the world.
You can't even keep a straight face. Don't you do professional voices? I mean, that's part of your job.
I do voices, but they're not very good.
You don't have to do them on the spot on a live show.
I got to practice.
Andrew, we need more comments from you just so we can get Mike to do more voices. You'll have to do Jimmy Animation is going to have to do one. Do you have a Canadian accent? You're going to well, wait until Jimmy types something and we'll see if you could do an Ontario accent, because Jimmy said he was from Ontario.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is either. You're going to have to do like Bob and Doug McKenzie. Are you ready for number 5? Let's go to number 5. Okay. See your comic in a comic shop. Again, it can be your own comic book. It doesn't even have to be shelved. You could just literally carry it there and pretend like it was there. But the idea
he's on eBay looking at Big Jim in his camper. He needs some jeans and a shirt.
Yeah. Well, Glenn, I might sell it to you because I can use some money.
Andrew's going to keep his comments for after.
No, Andrew, we depend on you, so Mike can do voices. The point of this, Mike, is this was one of the first times I saw my own published comic that I had written in a comic shop. I was delighted. The comic shop owner couldn't care less. I actually bought the copy because Marvel sends you that many comps. I think we get like 2 or something. So I went and I bought my own comic. But let's say you publish your own comic, like I've done like this. I've brought it to the comic shop and I've said to them, will you sell this on consignment? And usually most nice comic shops will. And even if they won't, just walk in with it and just get a picture. Have a picture of you with your comic in a comic shop.
Oh, okay, I can see that. But wouldn't you? I mean, obviously, you'd rather have it on the shelf for people to buy.
Mike, I'd rather be owning and driving a Ferrari, but sometimes just being able to sit passenger in one is the closest I'm going to get.
So as long as you have a picture of it in the comic shop, you think that's good enough.
Meet that emotional need. Make your comic. Go back to 4. Make your damn comic.
Okay.
And then see if the comic shop will consign it. Many comic shops will go, I'd be happy to put your comic up for consignment, 50% off cover. Most comic shops that I've worked with are incredibly nice and accommodating. What's that? What's Balfour saying?
Balfour said, my parents bought the X-Men Rogue I did while on their trip to Australia.
Wow.
Did they meet Andrew Campbell?
What could they read the words? It was in Australian. Well, we'd like to see that. What does Jimmy say?
Toronto isn't too Canadian like people from the East Coast, but I do say a boot and call people bud. Okay,
Mike, how can he tell we're from the East Coast?
A boot.
How can he tell we're two guys from two Italian guys from New York and New Jersey? Do we give it away?
A boot.
A boot. All right, so I want them to make their own damn comic, see it in a comic shop. And I want people to show their collectibles. So, not for anything, I've got so many action figures. We all do. And then you set them up for a little while, and then they become too much, and you put them in a box. I went out, this is a couple years ago. Somebody had said there was a jewelry store selling out. I think I paid $200 for that jewelry cabinet. I don't think I paid that much. And then I bought those light strips, and then my daughter, who you'll see later in this thing, went in there and put all my action figures into some sort of order for me. She put them into battle for me. And you know what? I love it.
Yeah, as you should.
Right? So as a bucket list, if you're buying stuff and you're like, oh, I can use this for figure reference. Yeah, okay. Take your stuff, display it. Show it with pride. Buy these little light strips. They're like $10.
I like they got a Martian Manhunter beating up Joker.
Yeah, that was pretty. That's
a one-sided fight right there.
Yeah, well, it certainly is. But Green Arrow's ready to jump in at any point, and then the Flash found the bang gun. So anyway, show your collectibles. That's idea number 6. What do you think of that one?
I think that's pretty good because if you're going to buy something, you should enjoy it. It shouldn't just be kept in a box in the attic.
Like my Big Jim camper.
Big Jim in his camper.
All right, here we go. Buy something in Artist Alley. I'm going to give a little crowd cheer for this one. That was like a golf clap, but the first protector of Gotham City. That's a good point. Yeah. Mike, we are all creators, and we walk up and down Artist Alley, and we should sprinkle a little money around. You know what? Like you said, you go to Comic-Con. Doesn't have to be a big Comic-Con. I miss that Artist Alley, the old hangar. I do too, Gatilla. I do too. That was a great location, and it was just wonderful. But go to Artist Alley with the specific intent of sprinkling some money around. For the weeks leading up to it, don't buy Starbucks. They don't need your money. Make your own sandwich. Buy some cold cuts and make some sandwich. You know what? Don't go to Panera. Literally, go there with a pocket full of money and go support someone in Artist Alley. And you know what? Talk to them. They lived the dream. Maybe they did exactly what I did, which was they under unadvisement or inadvisement or people trying to talk me out of it. I still made the comic books. I still lost money, but gosh darn, I was really glad anytime anybody bought my comic and came up to talk to me.
Okay. All right. I see that.
I need the praise and approbation of strangers, Mike.
It's all about you, bud. It's all about you.
It's always all about me. That's a good photo too, isn't it?
It's a very nice photo.
Yeah, it is. I take my.
It's like a big hanger.
It was like a big hanger, and Gatella and I both miss it. All right, here we go. Own a piece of original art.
Oh, okay. I like this one.
By the way, this is my adorable daughter Nicole, who probably will be thrilled that I showed a picture of her. But she is a huge fan of John Romita Sr. And got to hold some original art from John Romita. And let's admit, we do not own this particular art. I do own a few pieces of original art. And I did get almost all of it in Artist Alley from creators who I just thought, I like that. And sometimes people in Artist Alley are like, yeah, I'm going to make more. And I'm happy that somebody wants to buy it. And that's part of the economics of what they're doing. And if they're willing to sell it at a reasonable price and I can afford it, I have bought pages of original art out of Artist Alley. And I'm happy to own them.
As you should be. Do you have them hung up on your wall?
I don't. I used to, but what is that? You are great and have great taste.
Great and have great taste in shirts.
You know what? I got to tell you, that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter and I walked around and looked at Romita stuff, but I do have a little bit of original art. Since I had to get all the walls repainted because we got water damaged down here. I have not rehung any of the art, but I do have art, and it is almost all of it's framed. I don't really own a lot of art that I don't have framed.
I only have one piece of original art.
What do you have?
I have a Nightcrawler that Nelson drew for me.
Oh, I love Nelson. I'm still trying to get him on the show. I really want Nelson on the show.
Well, we'll get him on.
We'll get him on. We'll tell him he can look at the Nightcrawler that he drew for you and appreciate his fine work. Yes. So I do think that as a what's he say?
Does owning our own original comic art have the impact your bucket list is looking for?
No, he's an artist. He can draw his own. That the owning original art from somebody else, Alan.
That's true.
That owning original art, Alan can go like this. Done.
I have my own original.
I have mine, and then he can give it to me, and then he just draw another one.
Has to be someone else's.
Someone else's. That's right. I should have been clearer with the artists. Okay.
But he could draw original art for us.
I know, but he knew the answer. He's just being a wise guy. All right, here we go. Make your own merch and stuff. You'll see here on the right. When my daughter was little, she was wearing a superhero shirt, and the little boy said, "You're a girl. You shouldn't be wearing a Batman shirt." And then my daughter cleverly came back and said, "Well, your shirt's stupid."
That's one of the best comebacks ever.
An excellent comeback. But I decided that I wanted to have a shirt that they and other girls and women could wear. And Arlene So designed this for me from Wizard Magazine, and was like, sure, be happy to. So girls like comics too. And I made my own merch because I just wanted to. This is actually the first time I did comic photo reference preceding the books, Mike. I don't know if you remember, but I made CD-ROMs, and it was rejected by multiple publishers, and the distributor rejected it. And I ended up making it anyway, and then selling it for the first time at Philadelphia Con many, many years ago. That is art by Balfagor, who's actually on the line, Mike.
Oh, there's Balf. Oh, there's Blank Stare says, "Don't listen to Balf. You fill that bucket. Fill it for the both of us." I think the demo is close to 50-50 for comic readers now.
I think you are right. This was at a time when it was not. So anyway, I pulled this up. This was Alan. You did this for me. Thank you very much. He did it off this photo reference. Nobody believed in photo reference. This was not done under the label of the comic publishing that that Darren and I had, which is called After Hours Press, which we started at Wizard. This preceded comic book school. Nobody wanted it. Nobody believed in it. I made it anyway, and it changed the course of my life in comics, kicking off 3 CD-ROMs and 6 books. And this.
And you just sold this at Comic-Con.
I literally burned them on a 1X CD-ROM burner and then by hand stamped these labels on, by hand Janet and I cut out pieces of paper, folded it, put them into the CDs, and then sold them at Comic-Cons. This is just an example of what we did. Nobody believed in me. I did it anyway.
That is a good thing that you did that.
Incidentally, I didn't lose money on that. It's about the shirts either. Those are the very few things I didn't lose money on. Okay, so make your own merch. You want to make something? What are you waiting for?
Make it.
Make it.
You got to do the things.
You got to do the things. Okay. Number 10, do something you've always wanted to do. Mike, what is this?
Oh boy.
All right, Mike, tell them what they're looking at here.
Look at those 2 kids. That is me and Buddy on our television show, public access television show.
All right, so first on the right, what's going on here? Look, there's the original logo and letter. There's a Barry Windsor Smith rune behind us. There we are on the show, Mike.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said we're doing a show, and this is one at the end where you pulled me in as the co-host until you found somebody better.
Till I found somebody better.
And we did that for, geez, how many years? 3-4 years? Yep. I think was it every Tuesday? That might've been a Tuesday thing too.
I don't remember, but I will tell you, I said, I'm going to make a TV show. It actually preceded you. Almost nothing's changed except for hairlines.
Yeah.
Mike, I will tell you, though, I started a TV show, and here's the same thing about this over here. I had this idea. We should all write a screenplay and then make a movie. And then this is us editing. There you are right there. Yep. Editing B-Files 2. We really had no idea that you would say that you would do something and not complete it. So when I was like, oh, I'm going to do a TV show, we did a TV show.
Yep.
When I said, we're all going to write a screenplay, we all wrote a screenplay. And then I go, oh, I'm going to make this into a movie. We all went, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I just noticed I'm wearing a Wizard shirt. Look at that Wizard shirt.
Oh, that's an old one.
That is an old one. I can almost not see it from behind your nose there. Oh, that's a Jim Cubby joke.
I was going to say we should get some Jim Cubby pictures up there. He really exaggerated stuff.
But anyway, Mike, the point is, it made no sense whatsoever for us to do a television show, and even made less sense for us to make a movie.
But
we made 2 movies.
You had the idea, and you just went and said, I'm going to start a TV show. And you went to the public access people and said, I want to do a TV show. And they said, okay.
They were like, what makes you qualified? And I'm like,
nothing.
I said, I took a semester of TV production at Bergen Community College, and they were like, that's good enough. They needed something on the air. Yeah. And that was, I never saw the movie Wayne's World, honestly, but I understand that it was about cable access. That's all we were doing. We were just doing cable access television.
Yep.
And they had to put it on as long as it was, and as long as it met the standards of the community. We weren't doing anything profane, which we didn't. And they go, I had to have educational merit. So we had to like put a little educational twist to it, which is kind of like segues into what we do now.
Yep, exactly.
But the whole point here, Mike, is we just did something because we wanted to do it.
Yeah. You didn't think too much about it. You were like, we're doing this, and we did it.
And Mike, you were the perfect partner in this, because you were a little bit like, I have lived a life.
You've lived a life. Yep.
I have lived a life. And all of those lives have had double chins. But Mike, you're the perfect partner, and you guys need to get a perfect partner like Mike. I would pitch an idea, no matter how weird or stupid. Mike's answer was like, Scooby-Doo. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Mike, we're going to do this on Saturday morning. Okay. His bucket is shaming my bucket.
Yep.
Well, when I go to bars, I don't win a lot of bets when I put my bucket out on the bar. Okay, do something you've always wanted to do. So even if it's not comics related, these happen to be comics related. Just do it.
Yeah.
And we always say no one that died from COVID was like, oh, I think I'll get a communicable disease that's passed through the air when we breathe and I'll be dead. So a lot of people weren't planning on being dead.
That's true.
Some of us know those people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some of us know them. But you know what? You can't plan on living forever and for the door being open forever.
That is true.
You got to do the things, Mike. All right. Number 11. You got to meet one of your heroes.
Yes. You do have to meet one of your heroes. I was going to say, I want to hear the story about when you met
Adam West.
Adam West. Yes.
That Adam West.
That's one of the heroes you didn't meet.
Ruined Batman 66 for me forever. It'll never be the same after I've met Adam West. So be careful when you meet your heroes. But Stan Lee could not be a more gracious and generous hero to meet.
That's right. That's true. That is very true.
Andrew Campbell, you are the best. I have to say that was the nicest thing anybody said to me in the last 5 minutes. But Mike,
did he meet Stan Lee too, or did he meet Buddy? He does.
I don't know if he met Stan Lee. Mike, is there any hero that you've met or that you need to meet?
There are a few people. Well, there are some people that I wanted to meet, but they are dead, so I will never get a chance to meet them now. I always wanted to meet Jim Henson. He's dead.
He did.
Yep. But I have met a few people out here that I have, seen on TV and have been like, oh, you're like, oh, I got to meet them. And I've gotten to meet them. And everyone I've met has been very nice. Luckily.
No Adam West yet?
No Adam Wests in the crew.
Well, I'm still hoping for you.
That's probably a whole other episode.
Yeah, Burnett, I think, what did Adam West do? He broke my heart. Read that out loud.
Until has one. He asked Robert Cookman when Battle Pope is coming back and got a pep talk from Rick Remender. Oh, okay.
Okay. Hey, listen, I think that is part of meeting your heroes. Yep. And I should say, I was specifically talking about comic book heroes. It could be any hero. Obviously, we do a show about comic books for people just like you guys who are creators, aspiring creators, admirers of creators. It doesn't have to be comic book creators, but get out there. Go to one of these cons. There's regional cons all over the place. Just go, because you'll never get a chance to meet some of these heroes ever again.
That's true. That's true. And they could drop dead, and then you'll never get to meet them.
You will never get to meet them. I was in Las Vegas with my wife. We were before children, when we were able to travel. And she said, oh, look at this. There's tickets available. Do you want to go see Prince? And I'm like, I don't want to go see Prince. She's like, come on, I hear he's good. And I'm like, I don't want to go. I'll see him another time.
Didn't see him another time.
What a mistake. One of the great mistakes.
So, yeah, when you get the chance, go do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to go see Prince, though.
No.
Agreed.
You can listen to him, but you can't ever see him.
I'm a big fan of Prince music. You know that, right? I
did not know that.
Yeah, you think I only skew to heavy metal, but I have depth and culture, Mike.
That's good. I once knew a guy who looked exactly like Prince. I didn't actually meet Prince, so.
Well, that's close enough.
Yeah.
I got depth and culture. I went to Canada once. Did he ever become king? Who?
That was a Prince. Yeah.
Oh, David.
That was not
all
good.
Right. Idea number 12, help someone or a charity. Listen, it's not just about you, friend. You need to go out, reach out, and help someone else or a charity. And you know what? Nothing will make you feel better than putting that on your bucket list. And I don't mean just a little bit of help. I mean really digging in and doing something of significance that you can look back and go, I helped. And it's not about getting it for your Instagram feed or tweeting it. You don't have to tell anybody that you did it, but go out there and do something for somebody else. The Hero Initiative is a wonderful charity that is created specifically to help aging or otherwise comic book creators who are in need. Peter David is in need. We understand he's lost his health insurance. There are creators who are in need because many of them were freelancers throughout their career. They didn't have a traditional pension or 401k. They created the stories that entertained us when we were lonely. And believe me, I spent a lot of lonely days friendless. But you know what? This is a great place to start.
That is a very good thing to do. And that is very true, that you should go out and help others. Jimmy, he was a metalhead that loves Prince. Said the man was magical.
He certainly was, and played a ferocious heavy metal guitar.
Yep. Wallace.
Will's Portaccio. I'll help you out on that one. Go ahead.
He's coming to a convention near my city next month, and you've motivated me to go meet him.
Andrew, if you get a photo with Will's Portaccio, please send it, and we will add it to our bucket list of people who've completed bucket lists. Now, that leads to, if you have done a bucket list item and you have completed, and it's a legitimate bucket list item, we want you to send us the photo. Okay. We would like to be able to celebrate things that you do. Andrew Campbell will do. I believe it.
Now the thing is, on this bucket list you're talking about that you want them to send us a photo of, does it have to be comic related, or can it be, I want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro?
I can't even pronounce that, but if you could pronounce that on my behalf. Look, if it's a legitimate bucket list item, I think it's fair game. If it's comic related, I think it's doubly good, better, gooder.
You get double points.
You get double points. You get gooder points. So I don't know if I've mentioned this in the past or if I've simply beat a dead horse, but I do maintain every year. I'll show you. This is my beat up little field notes book in which I keep my written goals close at hand.
Okay.
All right. So every year I have my goals for the year. And you and I just spoke the other night about something that I would like to do in 2026.
Yes.
And it will go into the list. But you only accomplish what you say you're going to accomplish. Us being every Tuesday, barring holidays or some sort of catastrophic event, we are here because we do this for each other, and we do this for the audience, right? Mm-hmm. Like this is, you guys being here has made a reason for us to be here. So that's the commitment we've made. That's written down in here.
Now, when you redo your list every year, do you wipe off the old stuff, or does that stuff still continue with the bucket list?
Nope. I got a new one. I get these field notes ones. Just bring a comic with you. No, I get a new one of these, Mike.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is, like, just say you wanted to do an 8-page ashcan in 2025, but 2025, you never, for whatever reason, don't get to do it. Does that get moved over to 2026, or do you go like, I'm going to get new stuff?
Okay. So making a list is part art, part science. Part art is something that is like, I'm going to exercise more frequently. If you want to take it to a science, you go, I'm going to work out every Wednesday. You know, the science part of what we do, we're going to do this every Tuesday. Or I said, I'm going to lose weight, which I've always set the goal for myself to lose weight, but I have lost some weight, but I don't have a specific number. But making an 8-page comic is a very tangible, specific thing, but you need to plan. So you need to go, how am I going to do this? You got to sit down, you got to figure it out, and you got to make it happen. So The nice thing about a bucket list is it's yours to define, and yours to define if you've completed it or not.
Balfagor, I think the 8-page do everything is a great bucket list item for all of us. Learn so much, even about yourself. That's true.
It's true. It's easy for him to say because he can do it all, but you know.
Yeah. Victor, another great show, guys. Have to go do a live myself. All right.
Oh, Victor, we didn't know that. Put the link in the chat stream. We'll come to yours right after. Yeah, right after we're done. Thanks, Victor. It was great to see you, Mike, and it's great to see everybody every week. As a quick reminder, the comments that you've left in previous episodes after the episode is over has actually helped the algorithm. Clicking like, leaving comments, responding to other people's comments has actually gotten us a lot of organic traffic. So we really do appreciate that. And I have to tell you, we really, really appreciate it. So make sure you hit the like. There's a little bell button there. I think you guys, if you press the bell button, it'll let you know when we're doing the thing. But we will see you guys again next Tuesday. We love seeing you. Thank you for making this a special time for me and Mike. And get out there and work on your bucket list.
Yeah, bucket lists.
All right. Good night, everybody.